Now let's begin by telling you that tension has heightened in Edo over the leadership of the 18 local government areas of the state, as councillors have impeached the chairpersons and deputies of the Uhunmwonde, Orhionmwon and Owan East LGAs. The impeached chairpersons were accused of alleged misappropriation of funds and dereliction of duty. During the impeachment of Kenneth Adodo, chairman of Monday LGA, on Wednesday, violence broke out at the LGA secretariat. On the same day, councillors also impeached Aminu Okodo Kadiri, chairman of Owan East, and Clement Ojegbudo, his deputy. On Thursday, crisis erupted in Orhionmwon LGA secretariat when some councillors impeached Daniel Osarieme, House leader of the legislative arm, over unruly and inappropriate actions. On December 27, 2024, Ege Ogemudia, chairperson of Edo LGA, and Frank Osawe, his deputy, were impeached. And to discuss this, we're joined by legal practitioner Monday Mahwa. Mr. Mahwa, you're welcome. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. So first, let's ask, what is the legal framework under which the local government chairman in Edo State can be suspended or impeached?
Well, the legal framework or the provisions under which the local government chairman and their deputy can be impeached under the Edo State local government law are clearly spelled out under section 19 of the local government law of Edo State. And that law, we have section 19, 1, 2, 3, and that. And the provision under that section carefully stipulate that the members of the Legislative Council must serve if they are of the opinion that the holder of the office of the local government seat has committed an act of gross misconduct. In their opinion, they have to serve him with notice of that misconduct. Now, and that must be done within 7 clear days. And after the 7 clear days, the House will now, by motion, adjourn for another 14 days, within which they look at they decide whether or not to investigate the said allegation. I mean, these are procedures. And if that is also done, and they have the opinion that the allegation that they have raised is something that needs to be investigated, the House, by motion, supported by no less than 2/3 majority of the Legislative Council, has to vote in support of it. And so, once that vote has been made, and that they have all agreed by 2/3 majority that the holder of the office be investigated, this vote is for them to even investigate the allegation, not the impeachment in itself, the investigation. So we are looking at a situation of 7 days, 14 days, and if after that 14 days that they all agree by that motion supported by 2/3 majority that the allegation be investigated, then the House will now set up an independent inquiries who are independent of the both political parties, men of proven characters, to investigate the allegation.
Okay,
it is
Mr.
after
Mahwa,
that step has also been complied with that they can now come and say, okay, the allegation, we have investigated the allegation, there is veracity or there are proofs that the allegations are true before they can now proceed to now go into what we now call impeachment proper.
Okay. Mr. Mahwa, thank you very much for that very interesting definition of the system. However, Mr. Mahwa, if you could please put on your video so that we can have visuals of you, because at the moment we're unable to see you. So we could, if you could do that for us, thank you. Now, Mr. Mahwa, let's continue with the questions. Now, let's talk about rights. Thank you very much. Now, let's talk about rights. What rights do the suspended LGA chairmen have to challenge their suspension or the impeachment that's within the legal framework of Edo State?
First and foremost, my brother, the word suspension is an aberration and a rape of our constitution. The governor of a state has no power under any laws, whether the constitution, the Edo State laws, or whatever, any other law. They have no power to suspend a local government under the dispensation. If you can recall, on the 11th of July 2024, the Supreme Court, which is the apex court, in a landmark judgment, which reached a finding that the local government has an autonomy. And the effect of that is that the autonomy that they has, which was initially recognized by the Constitution, by the provision of Section 7 of the Constitution, which was now affirmed by the Supreme Court decision of on the 24th of July 2024, is to the effect that no state government has the power to suspend, to dissolve, or set up a critical committee for the purpose of overseeing a local government within Nigeria. Now, and I'm so happy if you have been following this trend carefully, right from the time we heard about the purported suspension of the local government chairmen and their deputy in Edo State, the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of the Federation, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, came up to criticize the decision of the Edo State government, Mr. Monday Mahwa, that the governor has no power under any law.
Now, Mr. Mahwa, I hear what you're saying regarding the lack of power of the governor to suspend the LGA chairman. But what rights do the LGA chairman have now that they have been suspended by the governor, seeing as you say that he has no rights? What could they do at this time?
Now, the right they have, don't forget, they are already in court to challenge the purported. When I don't want to use the word suspension because it's a purported suspension. What the right, the power that you do not have, you cannot exercise it. So they have the right, every right still to even to operate as elected local government of their various councils because they were elected by their people.
Okay. I think we might have a bit of a communication difficulty here. He might have frozen. Mr. Mahwa, are you still there? Okay, I hear you're back now. I'm going to move on to another question. Noting first off that the chairman have been reinstated. Now, how does the suspension of impeachment of an LGA chairman affect the functioning of and also governance of a local government area? Would there be a vacuum, or would there be perhaps an apparatus put in place?
Yep. Normally, if they were rightfully suspended, removed, once this local government chairman is not there by virtue of whatever, either by impeachment or whatsoever, and the deputy is also affected, the leader of the house, by law, takes over the office because there is no vacuum. There must be no vacuum in government. So, but in this instant case, since for whatever reason, they are still, to my mind, they are still in office, in their various offices. So if they have been removed legally, the leader of the council ought to have taken over and begin to preside and oversee the function of the office of the various local government chairmen in their various council. That is what is expected ordinarily.